Hello everyone, I'm Star here back with more Sign Drop, Fall into Poison. Last time we left off, the chick, I don't even know her name, got killed by the other blonde chick. And then I thought Mari, but it wasn't really Mari, it was a lie. And now I got three choices. Take them one by one. The first being storeroom? A storage room. Wonder what's in there. On sneaking a peek, there are hula hoops, bowls, and other things for use in the shows. Also catch sight of mops, vacuums, and other cleaning supplies. There seems to be a few things of any use, such as books or documents. I should have gone to the office, of course. I closed the door, leaving the storage room behind me. Director's office. This is the director's office. I mumbled while looking up at the words written on the sign above the door. The door appearance differs greatly from the doors of the storeroom and the reference room, with red ornaments decorating it. Even if there had been no sign, I would have known this room belonged to someone important on first glance. The atmosphere from out here also seems to have a heavy air to it. It's as if I'm standing before the door of a school principal. If I don't go in and see, I really won't learn anything just staring in from out here. The obvious truth is that I already possess the courage to go through with this. Keeping an eye out for any phenomena were coming through the door, I push on the heavy door. The door makes a scuffing sound on the floor as I open it. Oh, not bad, pretty. Please excuse my intrusion? It's not as if anybody would be in here, but without thinking, the words come out. An elegant desk and chairs are situated at the center of the director's office, and bookshelves run along the walls without a gap in between. The main wall, when looking from the entrance, is a giant tank made of translucent acrylic material. No one can argue that this room isn't also one of the aquarium's displays. The room is perfectly in order, giving me a sense of who the director is from the way the desk is. More than just neurotic, they don't seem to have left even one speck of dust. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly strange, does there? Just as a matter of this, I noticed a map on top of the desk in this neat and tidy room. Only the top of the desk appears to be a work in progress. This is after moving aside a book that seems to be in use as a weight. I find a map of the aquarium. This one is different from the one I picked up back at the stage. The design seems older, and the publication date is from 5 years ago. 5 years ago. It's not as if I can ignore that number. It's when everything started for the Manten Aquarium and for me. Inside the map, I discovered one defining difference: the deep sea fish booth. That place that was closed off 5 years ago is recorded on this map. Could this be? It seems that the deep sea fish booth was just after coming out of the tunnel. However, it is strange. I've been to that area several times, but there's only a long hallway, a long wall. There's no trace of anything elsewhere. It seems that when it was closed down, they filled in the wall. It wasn't like that from the start. Questions rise within me as I consider this. If where I am now is 5 years ago in the past, then I should be able to get to the deep sea fish booth. Huh? This line. As I repeatedly look over the map, I spot one red line. The line extends from the deep sea fish booth all the way to a circle at the top of the map where there is nothing else. The south passageway connects to the deep sea fish booth. My idea seemingly confirmed. I nodded without realizing it. The deep sea fish booth is the only place in the aquarium I haven't seen yet. Surely Manten Aquarium secrets would be there. Just a little further and I can finally reach it. This is... As I trace my finger along the map, I mentally position the booth and the aquarium on it. Come out of the tunnel tank and turn right, and the fish of the word booth should be there. Go in a straight line immediately. After turning left to the passageway behind that, then take another left, and there is the director's office. In other words, if going straight through, as the map says, this office is just past the tunnel tank, and between the tunnel tank in the director's office is situated in the deep sea fish booth. So then this room will be, was the red circle is here. The director's office is directly connected to the deep sea fish booth. Since there's nothing written in the map, blank spaces, save for the red circle. I think it's safe to say it's the room I'm in right now. I stop looking at the map and begin to glance around the room. There is nothing but bookshelves along the walls, even though there should be something leading to the deep sea fish booth. The tank. Looking at the tank on the interior of the room, I mutter, surely there should be something within the tank. I can't swim through the tank and reach the deep sea fish booth. I'll have to look around the room again more thoroughly. Just as I was about to look around the room, I spot a picture frame on the desk. It is two people standing side by side, but it has probably been stretched from its original resolution, making it hard to clearly distinguish the faces. I'm gonna take a limb out here and say that this guy, the director's office, he's probably the father of that chick who died. However, they are familiar. As I'm exploring the desk, I discover something of a metal frame. Below it, a 50 centimeter all around. The parts and materials on the inside are different. On one side of it, I find a collapsible handle. This is... I put my hand on the thing that looks like a handle with the intent to pull it out. Stop. Huh? Without thinking, I look over my shoulder for the voice that seems to come from nowhere. That was just my imagination, right? Even if not just my imagination, it wouldn't be the first time here at Manten Aquarium. As if mocking me, I tried to find an explanation for it. The voice continues even louder with, "Stop it! I have to ignore it. If I want to get away from this voice, I have to keep going." I shut my eyes and pull harder. At the same time, the ground trembled with a patter. I could hear the sound of the room creaking. I put my eyes and look at one of the legs on the desk. Okay, this is getting really loud. Much better. It's shaking. An earthquake? And I remember an earthquake, I would just stay on the desk, but right now I choose not to. I put my head out to check out the rest of the room. The bookshelves, everything on top of the desk, even the water in the tank is shaking. I prepare myself for the possibility of the tank rupturing, but it is a needless worry. I become aware of the one strange fact: the shaking is an unnatural phenomena, because the place where I am standing isn't shaking at all. Leave. As the voice echoes, the shaking of the furniture grows stronger. Still, that's the only thing. Leave now. The frequency of the voice echoing from out of nowhere is steadily increasing as well. I can't leave yet. Leave. I don't know if my words are getting through. As if in agreement, the vibration of the furniture grows more violent. As the mysterious voice strength increases. I will leave. I am leaving. But I only leave with Himeno. Instinctively, I give voice to my determination. I have no choice but to move on. I sit down once again and reach for the handle under the desk. Yeah! I guess that's how they scream. At that moment, my body suddenly flipped backwards. It's not that I stumbled on my own, but it felt like I was pulled back by an invisible hand. I won't give up. I won't give up. Leave, leave, leave. No, I won't. Arguing with the ghost. Awesome. Once more, my face is pushed close to the floor. My vision is concentrated on the small handle. My hand could easily reach it, but... Yeah! My body is once again knocked back by this unknown force. It doesn't matter how many times how many bad experiences I've had up to this point. Surely with just one more step, I can reach this unknown territory. What if there's nothing there? No, there has to be. This force trying to stop me is proof of that. Even if there's nothing there, I will leave here, together with Himeno. I'm no longer the me who knew nothing. Even if I have to drag Himeno behind me, I will find a safe way out and leave this place no matter what. So I absolutely must keep going. At that moment, there's a pulsation. This isn't my heartbeat, but the entire room pulsating with a loud thump. What? Is something else happening now? At that moment, the shaking of the furniture stops. In exchange, my own heart It's pumping blood rapidly through my body with a ba-thump, ba-thump. Uh, um, uh, did I do something wrong? All the lights in the room go out and it becomes pitch black. I use my hands to feel for the handle on the floor, but I can't seem to find it. Yeah, I chose wrong, didn't I? I chose wrong. Probably. This light, a phosphorus light, begins to shine through the tank inside the director's office. The water inside the tank becomes illuminated with that red color, faintly lightly lighting the room. The red light seems to be corrorating the entire room little by little. Fish. How? Fish swimming in the air begin to penetrate the room. They seem to be riding the flow of light from the tank, swimming inside of the red light. Fish swimming where there's no water, probably a major misunderstanding I've had here at Manten Aquarium. This red light is water? The room quickly fills with light. If the room fills with water, I'll drown. Staying in this room in this state is dangerous. I'ma save. I'll be back when it's safe. Okay, so I am going to. Wait, if I leave the room, isn't it dangerous? Cause you don't know if you're gonna end up somewhere safe or not. Stick around. I can't give up. Courage springs up from within me. If I'm going to escape from this Manten Aquarium with Himeno, I have to overcome this obstacle. Going from midair to underwater, I have to overcome this nightmare trying to force me to drown to death. I've escaped so many times and been rescued from the brink of death. However, I won't lose anymore. The red light is eroding from the room. Numerous fish are swimming. When I saved that girl, I overcame a similar obstacle. By knowing something by chance about creatures' habitat, I was able to do something about the situation. However, I can't use the same method here. There are no machines and there are too many varieties of fish for me to know about them. Moreover, I need to find a more basic solution. That girl, whose name I don't even know, she talked about a grudge. There were two cases, a murder investigation and a mass culling involving this malice. By murder, could she have meant? Director's accident? I gotta save again. I'm sorry. I have to save. I don't want to go through this again. Okay, director's accident. Let's go. No, it wasn't. The director's accidental death was caused by the error in the deep sea fish booth that also caused all those other deaths. Either way, what if it wasn't an accident? What if the whole thing was targeted at someone? I can see what caused the closing down of Manten Aquarium, the bitter intent against the one who killed them. In other words, regret and a grudge. I bore great fear and anxiety towards Manten Aquarium. But if my way of thinking is correct, then what I should be afraid of isn't the aquarium, but the deceased that have taken on its form. Oh, okay. Maybe so. There are so many rumors there are seen a man's ghost in tanks, the deep sea fish booth being open only a day of the full moon, that all of the water changes into blood, or that you can hear crying from the back of the tanks. The man in the tanks is the guy. Director. Himeno's words from that lunch break long ago all came back to me now. The director. You! As if agreeing with my conjecture, the red light grows more dense and becomes hard for me to breathe. I don't have time. With just one more step, I should be able to overcome this phenomena. This is gonna end horribly for me. I'm gonna reach for a pocket because maybe the charm I have in my pocket with the photo might do something. My own body has taken on buoyancy and is floating around. This entire room is now underwater. It doesn't just have water in it, but it is in water. As I try to control my wavering body, I search my pocket. My fingers feel something and I pull it out. Yes! It is the keychain with the starfish charm. A sticker photo is attached to the back. Director, if you can hear me from somewhere, watch this. A bubble as big as my mouth leaps out. The red bubble rises up through the interval between the air and the water. I cover my nose with my left hand and hoist the keychain up high. Ugh. My lungs are at the limit. The result of my defiance will be life or death. If my conviction is nothing more than a mistake, I die by suffocation. However, ugh, yeah, I chose wrong, right? This is the last bit of air in my lungs. The last bit of air in my lungs, the little red bubbles climbing to the heavens, along with my memories. The inside of my head is becoming murky. I chose wrong, that is so nice. There's enough oxygen. I'll die. In just a matter of seconds, I will drown to death. Okay, maybe not. Stop this, father. In time was the girl's voice. I feel the pain in my body crashing into the ground. Ow! I'm sorry, but that actually hurt. It sounded like it hurt a lot. With a thud, my butt begins to hurt. However, that pain is proof. The director's office has returned to normal. Without hesitation, I feel grateful for gravity. It's all right now, father. Sayo. Sayo? Just like when I tried to open the floor, a voice echoes through the room. As I study my breathing, I look around me and survey the room. As expected, I cannot find the source of the voice. I've heard this voice before. It is a voice I've heard many times in the Manten Aquarium, a hollow voice, one that projects well. This isn't a mistake, it's the voice of the girl, the one killed by Reiko. I take another look at the picture on the keychain in my hand. By father, do you mean that this is... It sounds like she must be his daughter. In other words, that girl was the daughter of the director. She is! So then, that's why. I realize that she is the daughter of the director whose murder was made to look accidental, which is why she was so tenaciously pursued the secrets of Manten Aquarium. Along with surprises, I feel understanding. A blue light shines through the translucent tank. The ominous red light from earlier is no longer there. In the space between the blue light, I can see two silhouettes, link-like images projected on a screen. They are a bit vague, but I can easily identify them. A middle-aged man and a girl, two of them face each other in a pleasant manner. Sayo, you've gotten so big. The silhouette that appears to be the director says in a kind voice. I decide to watch the pair's conversation quietly for a bit so as not to interrupt. You're making such a big deal out of it. More importantly, I found her, the criminal who killed you. Sayo, you. Saganuma Reiko. I was killed by her as well. But after coming to Manten Aquarium so many times, I was finally able to confirm it on my own. So I am more or less satisfied. Because of me, you were Sayo. Don't say anymore. I have no regrets. If you keep going, all of my efforts will be in vain. I lived and died solely for my objective. She died, so there was no way we could have saved her. Sayo says in a cool voice, talking about her objective even after her own death. What a tragic thing. Listening to Sayo's words, the director's mouth becomes a straight line as he looks down, holding back his regrets. Your face has changed so much in the last few hours. Huh? Me? Sayo shifts her gaze from the director to me. She turns her attention from the director and continues. The fact that you're not surprised to see a ghost really is an honor, but I understand how you feel. Yeah, that's right. I suppose you could say I've gotten used to it. I wish I could have gotten to know your name. You never would tell me. It doesn't matter now, since I'm dead anyway. Even now, Sarah talks like it's someone else's problem. The director has her side response to the question about her name. Sakuragi Sayo. That's the girl's forename. I'm Sakuragi Iso. Isao? Sayo's father and the director of the Manten Aquarium. So you are the director after all. It would be probably more accurate to say former. But it seems like I lost my sense of reason for a long time. I wonder why it's only now that I've regained my senses. Lost the sense of reason, he says, as if that's no longer the case. Nevertheless, his story seems to substitute the theory that Manten Aquarium gives form to grudges. Having returned to his senses, no strange phenomena should take place. On the contrary, I would say that the earlier poltergeist phenomena the director caused would have served as proof, but I don't see any need to blame him. Wasn't it seeing Sayo-chan that I had returned you to your senses? Hey, stop adding chan. I have a name too. I don't like it. Then it's Sayo. I have a name too. Mayumi. So stop with the hey and you stuff. Sayo breathes an effective sigh, then continues to talk. She looks listless. Listless, yeah, but somehow it seems like she's smiling. If your conjecture is right, Mayumi, then I'll probably be glad. Conjecture? That I returned my father to his senses. Fool, is there anything to be happy about? If you hadn't died, you wouldn't have met me. My beloved daughter, dead because of me. Is there really anything to be happy about? Father, calm down. You'll make the aquarium get weird again. I misjudged you, Sayo. I thought you were amazing because you were steadfast in your determination and your resolve, but I labeled you as a cold girl. Really, you were kind. Tears faintly gathered in the rector's eyes. If demons can have tears in their eyes, then ghosts can cry. That's why they call it infectious crying, I suppose. Even as I watch the two of them, the corner of my eyes become hot. The exchange between the two of them is so natural, it has the rhythm of a conversation between a parent and a child. Maybe because they are parent and child. It's something that won't happen again for them. I'm sorry, I couldn't save you. I saw you, Sayo. At the moment you got killed, I couldn't save you. Don't worry about it. This is the result of my own faltering. It wasn't your fault, Mayumi. But, don't you have someone you need to save? If so, you can't waver. Sayo, you've matured. You've become able to encourage others. Be quiet, father. Well, I'm glad you weren't killed by my father. You've grown up, Sayo. The air surrounding them warms my heart, but the realization that this is nothing more than a transition moment causes my chest to tighten. Huh? You too? Suddenly the blue light changes to white. It floods the room like a fluorescent bulb, gradually growing stronger. Without realizing it, I narrow my eyes. What's happened? All of a sudden, who knows? Maybe we're crossing over. I am satisfied knowing who the killer is. What? But wait just a bit. Crossing over, no longer having an attachment to this world? Sayo has achieved her goal, and she and the director have miraculously reunited after overcoming space and time. No, I cry out from the bottom of my heart. However, I can't give that screaming voice because Sayo knows my resolve. I don't want her to see me acting uncool because even though Sayo was dead, she is cheering me on. Mayumi-kun. Why kun? Whatever, before I disappear, I will tell you what I know. Even so, many events right before and after my deaths are vague. This is much too soon. Will you really disappear? My soul was originally supposed to cross over 5 years ago. Being able to cross over in and of itself is something to be happy about. Director, I don't want to cause any trouble like father did. I just want to go right away. Before our souls were taken, the two have completely reconciled their lives. Souls being taken is something I can barely understand. If it happens just as it did before with the director, then only their grudge and malice will continue to be expressed in this world. When it's time to die, one crosses over. It's probably best to see it from its spirit position. But then they can't be happy together. I stiffly endured those words. Unconcerned with my own thoughts, the director begins to speak. 5 years ago, Manten Aquarium experienced financial hardship with diverse options for entertainment and more direct subway system. Customer traffic decreased as people were flocking to towns other than Manten. The management of the aquarium was seeing large costs from the purchase of the exhibits, the large amounts of fee required, and the cost of paying for the employees. Also, due to the location of Manten Aquarium, the cost of transporting seawater is high. In addition, the deep-sea fish booth that served as the centerpiece at the time used the latest technology and required enormous maintenance costs due to its size. I was being pressed by many decisions, letting go of employees, reducing display space, the widening of the target demographic, and the closing of the deep-sea fish booth. I couldn't bring myself to cast aside anything from my beloved aquarium. I tried to do the impossible in the hopes of producing results, but in the end, it boiled down to a confrontation with Saganuma Reiko and those who stood with her. I was eliminated in the most rational way possible. In other words, I was killed. It was made to look like an on-the-job accident. The director continues, unperturbed by my trembling. I rise to my feet and reach out a hand to Sayo. She is also listening quietly to the director's matter-of-fact way of speaking. Her form seems so fragile. I am unable to touch the image she is projecting into the light. Despite my position amongst the management, I let her know in not so subtle terms how I felt about her. This gave her all the motive she needed. I have no doubt that my murder was, in some part, because I pushed her too far. Beside me, Sayo lowers her head. However, she listens carefully to the director's monologue. I studied the director's face and wait for the rest of the story. Then Saganuma Reiko sent all the fish in the deep sea fish booth to the depths. There were 1,217 of them in all. There were probably those employees who had their doubts in the regards of the recurrence of unlikely accidents. Those that knew even the slightest bit about our management stuck in their heads in the sand and just dismissed it as cost cutting in some way. That's awful. By all rights, it is something father should consider as a manager. Yes, at times such a things become necessary. Saganuma Reiko held neither reverence nor regret towards the fish she, a human, killed. She probably smiled while killing them, forcing them to bear the brunt of her rage and grudge against me. My soul was already here. It's hard to put into words, but I'm what you call a chipakure? A spirit bound to this place. Symphonizing with the souls of all those fish, I offered up my soul to Manten Aquarium. So then the grudge you and the fish bore created the world I am in now. The director nods in serious face. I instinctively swallowed him. The Red Manten Aquarium, I've taken to calling it that, was out regard for when they took vengeance to dispel their regrets. It didn't matter if it involved people or fish. They merely turned to anger. There was nothing I could do. As a human with an independent will and emotions, my soul was the cornerstone, but the fish were the ones to rule Manten Aquarium. There was no distinction for the value of life. The thousands of fish spirits are part of my own sense of reasoning. Then why now? I am sorry, but I don't know. I don't clearly understand it either. I may be ambiguous throughout this Red Manten Aquarium, but I am merely a core that bore its grudge, nothing more. There are far too many things I cannot explain. But if I were to venture, I guess I would think that my reunion with Sayo has led my soul to stop producing negative emotions. Upon becoming useless, I was probably ejected from the Red Manten Aquarium. Theories and such probability don't matter, Mayumi-kun. It's thanks to you bringing Sayo and I together that this miracle occurred. I don't need any further explanation of that. The director smiles peacefully. He probably doesn't remember the details of what he put us through. If he did, he wouldn't be smiling. Still, it isn't like the director is directly responsible for his sins. Sins are born from a person's ill will. If I trust the director's words, then that isn't the case here. It isn't me to bear hatred for something with no form. A cornerstone having lost me, the one directing their malice, the fish spirits should also disappear. They should cross over. The director says in a relaxed tone after some thought. In other words, the Red Manten Aquarium would disappear? If my theory is correct, that is what should happen. In turn, with my soul's disappearance, the Red Manten Aquarium should begin to crumble. There's isn't something I know for sure, merely a hunch, but it seems I am part of Manten Aquarium after all. Please don't lament the fact that I would disappear. It was your courage that rescued us from this place, this Red Manten Aquarium. I didn't save you. My words of denial won't come out. Surely the director is satisfied already. After having his soul bound for 5 years and squeezed a very drop of malice, just releasing him was saving him, so I can't dilute that fact. Before we part ways, I'll return this to you. This keychain? Sai hands me a keychain. It was a droplet shape. One was a jellyfish touch. It is unmistakably the keychain from my memories. Why, Sayo? You were running without watching where you were going, and you ran into me. Don't you remember? When I was chasing Mari, I ran into someone. That's right. Himeno picked it up in all of the confusion. It was something incredibly precious to me. It never seemed like something someone could mistake. Even now, I still don't understand the mix-up. I finally realized that you had my keychain when I looked at it, and that the one I picked up was yours, Mayumi. Thank you. So it wasn't that Himeno lied. The mix-up was because there were two lookalikes. The hand that the keychain was a starfish charmed to Sayo. The father and daughter smile at me was in the sticker picture. This piece of the lost past lives leaves my hand. As I hand it to her, I am unable to touch her. However, the treasure safely lands in Sayo's hands. Why didn't you tell me back then? Hope, probably. What do you mean? I won't say any more than that. I'm about to respond, but Sayo speaks without giving me a chance. You know, I'm a bit jealous of that Himeno girl. Why? Think about it. Think about it yourself. You're so mean. Sayo grips the keychain tightly and shuts her eyes. She takes a small breath and then nods. You walked a different path than I, Mayumi. Even now, I think so. Yeah. Mayumi, what you've done is resolve yourself to save the both of you. I don't want to think that I'm wrong, however. You aren't wrong either, Mayumi. The world is a place with few answers. Sayo laughs with a haha. The smile seems out of character for her. But Sayo's smile is very natural. Surely this is the girl's true nature. Now, the cool Sayo I spoke with first is the real deal. Just as Sayo said, there's no perfect answer here. Regardless of the director's choices, there were none that could have led to a perfect solution. Even so, we all must choose, even if it means casting aside that which we don't choose. I wasn't able to be like you. I was filled with a weakness I couldn't account for. Sayo, you aren't weak at all. You saved me. Her eyes closed. Sayo shakes her head. Mayumi, you have strength that I don't. You won't fall apart at the truth. You will save Himeno no matter what. Thank you. I'm sorry. In the end. Hey. Huh? Nah, nothing. I don't care for stubbornness after all. The light surrounding Sayo grows far brighter than the light surrounding the director. Gradually, Sayo's silhouette grows dim. I understand that this is the light of Sayo's life. Bye-bye. Yes, bye-bye. I won't say see you later or anything if you find your way here after 100 years. I'll just turn you away. There's no way I could live that long. I am unable to stop my emotions from overflowing. The drops of light spilling over melt into the even stronger light. It's the same for Sayo. She would probably get mad if I say so I won't, but... Well, Father, I'll go on ahead. This time, you can follow me. Essentially, it's decided Sayo's my friend now, so as much as I continue to struggle, I won't break so easily. By the time I've wiped away my tears, Sayo's light has already vanished. The director closes his eyes and begins to pray. Seeing me stand up, he quietly opens his mouth. I don't know exactly what will happen when this place crumbles. Before it happens, I think it's best that you get out of Manten Aquarium. I want to ask you about Saganuma Reiko-san. She's still alive in this aquarium, isn't she? The woman who killed not just the director but his daughter too. Her insane smile is etched into my mind and won't disappear. She shouldn't be living. I can't remember it clearly, but I do know this Manten Aquarium did exact its vengeance on her. If she's still here in the aquarium, then she's nothing other than a ghost. She's a captive soul bound here by the grudge and malice that pervades this place. If so, when this place crumbles, she'll disappear as well. You needn't worry. I don't need to worry? Is that true? Those things left behind in time will not change. I understand that, and... Yes, what is it? You didn't see a girl called Mari somewhere, did you? She looks like Sayo when she was a child. Perhaps like you, she became a spirit and is in this Manten Aquarium. I have access to the disappearing director, something that has caught his attention. He is the one with the Manten Aquarium, then perhaps he does know something. However, that hope is quickly dashed. I do not know. Ever since my death, my mind has become rather vague and fragmented. Is that so? However, as it is vague, I cannot definitely say that she isn't here. In the deep sea fish booth where I lost my life, there may be some truth even I do not know. Speaking of which, director, when you were under the influence of the grudge, you told me to leave. Did you understand somewhere deep down the dangers of the place where you were killed? I wonder. Honestly, I do not know. Well then, it seems the time has come. Director, I can no longer stay here. I realize I may be irresponsible. However, it seems this alone I cannot fight. In this world, there are powers that go beyond human understanding. Please wait! If I wait too much longer, I won't be able to follow Sayo. When I reach the other side, I will pray for you, that you may be saved and blessed. And then there was one. Well, at least I didn't get a bad ending, right? That's good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next